Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is Lavoska Barton, Executive Director of Sales and Marketing with Blue Telcom. I apologize for the delay, as often happens when you work with people in Texas, as most of you are from. There's confusion between Eastern Time and Central Time, so our presenter will be joining us shortly, but I have a few slides that I'd like to share while we're waiting on him to join. So just a few directions about the webinar. You're in listen-only mode. I've got everyone muted, but if you have a question or you have something to say, you can let me know, and I will unmute you to join. So look forward to you all joining, asking questions, and you can please raise your hand and be allowed to speak. So we'll move forward. So uh, as mentioned, this is going to be an interactive webinar, and since today is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, I have a question, and the first person who gives an answer will win a Starbucks gift card. And you can send, you can raise your hand, or you can send a chat, and the first one who sends it will and has the correct answer will be able to will win a gift card. And so in today's modern times and technology, what often happens is people use their smartphone or their PC to look up the answers. So this is going to be a case of the person who has the quickest hands winning the gift card. So here we go. So Cinco de Mayo is actually not Mexican Independence Day. It is actually a day that represents the Battle of Puebla with the French, and the Mexican military held off the French, and so it during the war, and it was their rallying point to win their independence. So the question is, in the Battle of Puebla, how many troops did Napoleon send to fight the Mexican army? So please do your research and provide an answer. And the first person who provides an answer, the correct answer, will win the gift card. Are you guys looking, researching? Why did I know it would be Jenny? Jenny, I'm going to unmute you.
Hello.
Hello, Jenny. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So do you have an answer for us, Jenny?
I was thinking 4,500.
I'm sorry, Jenny. That is the
Is
wrong
it
answer.
wrong?
Yep, that is the wrong answer. So we'll wait on the next person here. Or if you want to go back and research it, or at least the website I pulled this from had a different number. So we'll wait for someone else to answer. Anybody else want to try? Jenny, did you raise your hand again?
Yes.
Okay, what's your answer?
I see that 3,500 had arrived on 8th of January, and Napoleon decided to send a further of 4,500 more. So
Okay,
total of 8,000.
well, let me that answer from my website is also incorrect. So why don't you? I'm going to put you on. I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to leave you up, and I'm going to go to Yunsub. Yunsub, do you have an answer for me?
6,000.
There you go. The answer is 6,000. So yeah, Napoleon sent 6,000 troops. Now, Jenny, send me the information on where you got your information, and I may have to give out dual Starbucks gift cards here. So,
Thanks. I was gonna send mine to Jenny too.
okay, all right, very good.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, all right, guys. Well, thank you for playing along. I've put everyone back on mute, and I'm going to go to the next slide. Um, so, so I just wanted to take a couple of minutes as our presenter gets prepared and joins the webinar here, and just quickly go over the Blue Telcom product lineup. Um, um, most of these products are familiar to those in telecom, and I circled one at the bottom right there in red, the full duplex radio communication systems. And I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that product. So, so here we go. This is the WeWe full duplex radio communication systems. We have an agreement with the manufacturer to distribute their products. This is a full duplex two-way radio communication system, and it's used in a number of applications. Primarily, it's used in broadcast and sporting events, and it's even used for interpretation and for large groups. So there are other applications, as we've been discussing with the distributor. The industrial industry, it's great for the utility industry as well, as you have partners out and about in central offices and in utility sites. The construction industry has good use for this as well. So, so this is the product we're carrying. It will be part of the website here shortly, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. So, with that, I want to introduce to you our guest panelist for today, Matt Everett with Exeltech. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Lavasco. Thank you. Sorry about that. We've got our wires crossed.
No worries. We're good. We're good, Matt. We're good. So I put a slide here, just a little bit about Exeltech. It's been in business for 30 years, and I'm going to stop talking a minute, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Matt and just ask him some questions. So Matt, could you share with us, just give us a little bit of information about Exeltech?
Okay, Lavasco, am I able to share my screen?
Yeah, let me figure out how we do that here.
Okay.
And you should be able to, I'm going to stop showing my screen. Well, let me go back to show screen, and I'm going to change presenter, and I'm going to change it to you, Matt.
Okay.
So I've just changed it to you as the presenter.
All right.
So you should be able to show your screen. There you go.
Okay. You see it?
Absolutely. Let's rock and roll.
Very good. So Exeltech has, like you said, been in business for over 30 years. We are a manufacturer of DC to AC power inverters. We do a range of power inverters anywhere from 125 watts all the way up to 180 kilowatts through various product offerings. We have standalone products, modular products, 2 kilowatt, 1 kilowatt platforms, all kinds of different stuff. And so here, let me see. So this is the XP series. We'll just get into products a little bit, do a brief overview. So the XP series is our standalone line. We have an XP 125, which is 125 watts, all the way up to our XP 2000, which puts out 2000 watts. And then we have our MX series, which is our 1 kilowatt modular platform. This is our oldest design and has been in the field for 25 plus years. We have tons and tons of different configurations, input voltages, expandability options, all kinds of different things with this platform. Let's see here. The LC series is our modular 2 kilowatt platform, and it can go all the way up to 180 kilowatts. So we can go from 2 kilowatts to 180. All these are hot swappable modules in the field. These have alarm monitoring up to remote SNMP monitoring. So this is a little bit newer version. It's a newer version, similar to the MX, just more power. And so this brings us to our newest series. This is the KC series, and this is what Blue Telecom, I believe you have on your website there, Lavaska, is our 1 and 2U unit platform here. So these are 1 kilowatt power modules with or without a transfer switch. So you can have utility power along with your battery power, or you can have just straight battery power. These we offer different configurations as well. You know, you've got this top picture here is a 1 kilowatt unit with a transfer switch, and then the bottom unit's a 3 kilowatt unit with a 3 kilowatt transfer switch with a manual bypass switch on it. So we've got a lot of different configurations. Like I said, we've been in the field for over 30 years. We have flat rate repair fees here. Everything's manufactured here at our facility in Fort Worth, Texas. So, you know, we get units in that have been in the field 20 plus years, and we do repairs on things and send them back. And so there's not a lot of companies that are still supporting products that are that kind of age. And so we take, you know, a lot of pride in what we do and what we have in the field, because a lot of our units are in critical power situations where our customers can't lose the load.
Okay, well, good. Thank you for that overview, Matt. Several questions for you related to inverters. Can you help our audience understand the importance of inverters in a power configuration?
I've got Kevin here, our VP of marketing. I'm gonna let him take this question.
Yeah, okay, we kind of cut our teeth in the telecom industry where almost all the loads are DC loads, but they had some need for some critical AC loads, thus the inverter. And as that became kind of known as a DC solution to backup power, as opposed to your traditional UPS or uninterruptible power supply, its main function was in the event of a loss of whatever your power was, your AC power, utility, generator, what have you. It gave you an opportunity to do an orderly shutdown of these loads so you didn't lose data or damage the load or what have you. In these situations in telecom central office where they had hundreds of amp hour of battery, and they had co-located loads such as billing computers, loads that needed to stay up for an extended period of time. And that's what the inverter solution brings to the table. You can keep these loads up for days, not just minutes. And that's found its way into other markets beyond telecom. And as the landline telecom somewhat kind of settled down, a lot of the talent in that industry moved into different industries. Utility companies, people that generated the generation side of utilities, as well as transmission and distribution. We have this MX series has been in U.S. embassies, all the U.S. embassies and consulates around the world for over 25 years, backing up power in the communications room. In the event the bad guys kill the power, these guys can still talk. And so that's in a thumbnail, that's kind of what this solution brings, is extended backup power for critical loads.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you for sharing that. We also saw as telecom and utility and IT started merging, melding together a little bit. While telecom equipment relied mostly on DC because of the pure power coming to it, we saw, like you said, the administrative side mature into the offices, and so those needs had to be met as well.
Exactly. A lot of them sustain their business by co-locating to other companies in these central offices. A good example of that is cable head end equipment, cable company, video, what have you, co-locating in central office telecom. So like you say, some industries and their talents have merged.
Yeah, just a quick comment about that. Yeah, I was in a conference this week with rural telecom companies, and a lot of those providers have their critical infrastructure and their offices in the same building. So, so that's another reason for it.
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, can you guys tell us a little bit about some of just maybe a few of the major projects you guys have worked on over the years here or recently, and maybe what trends you're seeing?
Well, I guess the biggest trend we've seen is the requirement for more power.
Yeah.
I guess, gosh, we're doing more and more in the military realm. Some of our standalone units are the Marine Corps' new amphibious assault vehicle, has our kilowatt inverters and all of those. We've got units in flight on the International Space Station. We just got an order yesterday for a military subcontractor for 300 of our 250-watt units that are going into portable satellite uplink units that are going to Ukraine to support their military. So we're kind of we're doing a lot worldwide, actually.
Yeah, that's great. That's good to hear you're supporting the Ukrainian effort. So that's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been frustrating watching our Defense Department take their time and cutting these POs. You have to go home every night and watch the news and see what's happening over there. It's but finally we feel like we're getting to help in some small way.
Yeah. Well, very familiar with how our federal government procurement operation works. So clearly understand. So, hey, can you guys share a little bit about the KC series and why you created that series?
Basically, it was a market demand. It wasn't anything we came up with. We were just answering demand in the marketplace. They want dense power in a dense footprint, and a lot in the IT, and a big market is the transmission and distribution side of utilities. They don't need a lot of power, and they don't want to waste a lot of real estate on it. So that's right. Kind of how that product evolved.
Yeah, the modularity is very, very critical at this point. So
right. And the modularity, it's a great architecture, plus the fact that these modules share the load amongst themselves, and you put an extra one in there and you have N+1 redundancy where you can lose a module and not lose your load. And that came forth through our MX, which was answered a requirement from Telcom back then. And previous to that, your solution was N+N. You had to have 2 5-kilowatt inverters. We came up with, we could give you 6 kilowatts of power and have the same reliability, plus you could maintain it in the field. Yeah, there are no tools required to swap one of our modules. They use thumb screws. Very user friendly.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. So one final question from me before I open it up to Q&A with those assembled here. What do you guys see as the future of inverters? How do you see the inverter product evolving?
I guess, kind of what our thinking for the last probably 10 years is trying to address the requirement for more power in a denser footprint at affordable cost. That's kind of where the LC NC product was developed, a 2-kilowatt module. It afforded us the ability to offer you twice the power for a little more than just 50% additional cost. And that's been well received in telecom, as well as other markets. They're doing some small data centers with large power requirements. We do a lot with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and all these dammed reservoirs they're using to generate power, more and more 20, 30, 60 kilowatts of power. It's just, to do it with that 2-kilowatt module allows us to give them twice the power at half the footprint almost. And like I said, a little more than 50% of what that MX unit would cost. That But I'll follow that up by saying, after 25 plus years, we have hundreds of thousands of MX modules in service around the globe, and we will continue to support that. It'll never be classified as just a legacy product. And we repair those modules here. If they're repairable, I think it's $100 flat fee. So, you know, at an end user price of a little over $1,200 a module, it's a testament to the reliability of the product. It's how we can afford to do that. Our failure rate in our products across the different product lines is historically less than 2%, and that includes damage and installation, the little ride on the little brown truck, and you know, all failure scenarios is how we can afford to do that.
That's great. That supports the return on investment for the purchaser. So
absolutely. Yeah. We kind of joke around here. We might not be your first inverter, but we'll probably be your last.
Hey, you should put that on your website probably.
Good day. Yeah, that and you know, if you want to mix a margarita on your boat, there's a cheaper way to do it. But if if you're selling margaritas and you want to stay in business, maybe you should consider us.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, guys, thank you for that. I'm going to invite our attendees to perhaps raise their hands and or put a question mark out there to be unmuted so they can participate. So if you all have any questions about inverters or Exeltech, now is a good time to bring those out.
I guess I'll throw one thing out. This is Kevin at Exeltech again.
Yep.
We're constantly trying to refine our RFQ process, but because of the modularity and the different input voltages, output voltages, wattages, phases, it can be a difficult RFQ process, and we've tried to simplify that with documentation and we understand that you have better use of your time than to try to memorize our part numbering system. So basically, you tell us what you need for your application, and we'll come up with the rest for you. We'll try to make it as simple as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Makes it easy to work with there, Kevin. So that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. There were no questions raised. I see Jenny's hand is up, but Jenny, is your hand up from the last time? She took it down, so she's good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and those in attendance. We appreciate you attending. Kevin and Matt, thank you so much for sharing about your product. We look forward to a long, fruitful relationship with Exeltech.
Well, thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lavaska and Blue Telecom, for having us.
All right. Our pleasure, guys. And for everyone, this concludes the webinar. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day, and be careful out there on Cinco de Mayo.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.